Dear brothers and sisters, I welcome you all to hear and see this video message. In this video, I am going to explain why Hindu fundamentalist Hindutvaist against evangelism in India. Content for this video I given in the description. You can go through and study. In India, it is the upper caste that has a greater hold over material resources, and the Adivasis and the Dalits lack power over resources, which makes them vulnerable to economic and social exclusion. For instance, in 1936, the Royal Court of Raigarh, a small princely state in what is now Chhattisgarh, passed India's first known anti-conversion law, requiring anyone who wanted to change religions to obtain government permission. Missionaries of that era targeted the bottom tiers of society, including lower caste Hindus and Indigenous people known as tribals, teaching them how to read and write and encouraging them to question the caste system. This infuriated the landlords and maharajahs, who presided over a feudal hierarchy that relied on exploiting lower caste labor. In the same way, presently right-wing Hindu groups are angered by the growing number of conversions to Christianity by the Dalit underclass. The Hindutva project is a lifeboat for the upper caste in so far as it promises to restore the Brahminical social order, and the potential enemies of these ideologies anybody whose acts or might hinder the process of restoring the Brahminical social order. That is the reason Hindutva fundamentalist against the Christianity. Christianity was seen as a cultural disruption in India. Christians have often rejected alcohol, which is a significant part of the regional festivity. Christians often did not take part in village rituals, which were viewed unneighborly. The very willingness of Christians to break the tradition of the village is seen as a cultural threat. Thus, many members of the lower caste and tribes claim of Christian conversion as something of a deculturation, just in the same way as the Hindu nationalists of the upper caste do. Historically, conversions to Christianity, especially in central and northern India, brought divisions among Hindu society, castes and families. Conversion to Christianity is often looked down upon as a social act rather than a spiritual act. It signifies the changeover from one social community to another. When Christianity is perceived to be a dividing factor in the society, it is no wonder that most Hindus shun it. Hindu nationalists feel that if the Christian population increases, it will affect the dynamics of electoral politics and India's status as Hindu nation. Basing their fear on their assumption that Christians have opposing allegiance, Hindu nationalists portray conversions to Christianity as a national threat because they reduce the number of people who have a shared national identity, a national identity which is vaguely claimed to be Hindu. Increased literacy in SC and ST areas by Christian missionaries evangelism usually threatens the relative hegemony of the dominant castes. This leads to violence against the SC and ST people who dared to become equals. Many middle and upper caste Hindus resent long-standing affirmative action policies to help lower caste. Hindu fundamentalists, particularly Brahmin, will lose the hold and control over SC and ST and OPC if they are evangelized by Christian missionaries and by their education ensure them upward mobility in socio-economic conditions while they accept the gospel of Jesus Christ in India. Always Brahmins and upper caste pleased to maintain Hindu supremacy and lords over lower caste people. So, Hindu fundamentalists against the gospel program in India. There are between 250 and 300 million Dalits in India today. Dalit constitute 60% of the Indians Christian population. As increasing number of Dalits become Christians, more states in India are reacting by passing anti-conversion laws. Dalits wants to escape from the clutches of the oppressive and discriminatory caste system under Hinduism. They accept gospel of Jesus Christ. Many members of tribal and indigenous communities called Adivasis, who were originally animists, thereafter converted to Christianity. Many lower caste Hindus are interested in Christianity because of the country's entrenched caste class system, which is linked to religion, meaning there is no socio-economic mobility for them within Hinduism. But the standard rhetoric of Hindu fundamentalists is the allegation that Christians are indulging in religious conversion activities by luring Dalits or tribal Indians with money, jobs and other material benefits. Hindu nationalists RSS fashioned themselves as unifiers of all Hindus irrespective of castes. No ruling elite on this earth can beat Hindutva rulers of India in hypocrisy and demagogy. Hindus do not have the custom of going regularly to their temples. They generally pray with their families. But since churches are full on a weekly and sometimes a daily basis, this gives the impression that Christians are more numerous than they are, and that makes Christians a target for this sort of discrimination. Upper caste Hindu nationalists fear that with arrivals of non-Hindus, higher fertility rates among minority groups and conversion to Christianity, the Hindu majority might become a minority. The fear of being overtaken is irrational. As per the census of India 2011, Hindus constitute 79.8%, Muslim 14.23% and Christian 2.3%, Sikhs 1.72% and Buddhist 0.7% and Jains 0.37%, and other religions including Parsis and Jews constitute 0.6% of the population in India. It is pertinent to note that there has been no significant change in the proportion of the Christian community to total population in 2011 as compared to the previous census of 2001. It must be pointed out that if there were indeed rampant conversion as alleged, the Christian population should have seen as increase. On the contrary, official statistics show the opposite. In Karnataka, the Christian population was 1.91% as per the 2001 census, and it is decreased to 1.87% in 2011 census. Christians have remained 2.3% of the population since the 1951 census. Still, they seek to integrate a large section of middle class castes, Adivasis and Dalits who sustain a majority. But India's church is exhausted by the surge of anti-conversion laws and accusation of illegal proselytization. Members of the right-wing Hindu groups accused Christian missionaries of using Christmas celebration to lure people in. They said as December comes, the Christian missionaries become active in the name of Christmas, Santa Claus and New Year. They lure children by making Santa Claus and distribute gifts to them and attract them towards Christianity, and let only Christians celebrate Christmas. We are against Hindu boys and girls participating in Christmas function. It cuts our sentiments. They dress up in church and everyone sings Merry Christmas. How will our religion survive? In September 2015, BJP MP Tarjun Vijay announced that he was leading a private member bill for a nationwide anti-conversion law, saying for the first time the population of Hindus has been reporting to be less than 80%. We have to take measure to arrest the decline. It is very important to keep the Hindus in majority in the country, and I think a bill of the nature anti-conversion law will allow Hindus to remain a majority in India. There is no national law restricting religious conversion, and attempts in the past to introduce such bills in the parliament have failed. Bible talks about Hindutvaist attitude on Indian Christians. In Acts chapter 24 verse 5, we have found this man, that is Christian, to be pestilence, stirring up dissension among the Jews, that is Hindus, all over the world. He is ringleader of the sect of Nazarenes. Also in John chapter 12 verse 19, then the Pharisees, that is Sangh Parivar, said to each other, there is nothing we can do. You see, we are not succeeding at all. Look how the whole world, that is India, has gone after him, that is Jesus Christ. Yes, Amen for India.